What up? What up? What up? This is Rec League Podcast, man. My name is Randy Little. In case you forgot, man, I know it has been about a minute and a half. I just wanted a break. It's first episode since the beginning of August, I believe, and I think I told you guys before I signed out last episode, like I was just burned out. Um, I needed a break. I took the break. It was cool. I did a couple reviews on my personal YouTube channel. If you guys had a chance to check those out, New Mutants, Tenant, and now like I got to get back in the groove, man. Like I can't say that. Like I was excited to get back on with my boys, chop it up over nerd stuff, movies, hip hop, sports, what have you, and I got to get back in the groove, man. I got to get my recording routine back because I know in November there's at least two movies I want to do movie reviews for. But this episode, it's just catch up, especially the movie segment. It's a lengthy, you know what I'm saying? Like I always have two or three homies with me. We talk about comic movie news, a couple TV shows, just what happened over the hiatus. Me and my guy Orlando for sports. And again, we talk about how each league like handled their bubbles and the championship runs that teams made, and it's just fun. I spit some bars. You already know what it is. And then me and old man Lawrence talk about two or three albums that came out recently. It really wasn't enough time to talk about all the albums that we missed, like that Logic or that West Side Gun. The gun gets mentioned, but no poll questions. I didn't run any poll questions. Um, there isn't or hasn't been a lot of Blu-ray releases. Theatrically, maybe one movie has come out. Again, like I'm getting back into the groove. So like y'all know how over the summer how I did the intro. That's how I'm gonna keep. That's how I'm gonna keep doing the intro till the end of the year till the world gets back in place, back to whatever norm we can get to after this virus finally disappears, gets contained, whatever it is, man. Like I said, movies. My guy E-Sig, Nick Goodman. My guy Legacy. I got him on the movies. I wanted him on all three, but stuff happened. Like I said, Orlando on sports, and then old man Lawrence on music, man. Um, Glad to be back. I hope you guys enjoy the episode, whether you listening, whether you watching. It is Rec League Podcast, man. Find us on the social medias at Rec League Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, at Rec League Pod on Twitter. This is episode 45, man. Enjoy. All right, man. We back, man. First show since August. I got my usual suspects. My guy E-Sig, the Nicholas Bartholomew Goodman, and y'all know Legacy, Javon Merritt. Um, I miss you guys, man. Like we haven't been chopping it up pretty much every day since we haven't recorded an episode, but just the visual, man. So so like so much went down in the time that I was on a hiatus. So a couple of these things I just want to breeze through. I was gonna have my guy Alex Espinosa give us like the boots on the ground theater experience for the workers since they reopened, but he had to work, ironically. So I think I think all of us been back to the theater except Javon since they reopened. Um, I've been a lot lately. Nick, what all of you seen?
I went and saw the Russell Crowe movie, that Unhinged.
Oh, that was your
Was
welcome back.
Yeah, that was like as soon as I found out theaters were opening, and like that was the first movie I like bought tickets like it was some event movie. Like I was like went in and bought them and like had them ready, and it was fine. And then I saw New Mutants maybe a week later,
I was about to say, I think the Cinemark by me just got rid of New Mutants and Unhinged.
Really,
I think
I haven't
so.
checked. I know the after New Mutants, I saw Tenet like maybe 3 days later, and that's still playing like
Yeah,
everywhere
yeah, it's got
around me.
one showtime here.
They're like, nah, this movie Tenet, this will catch on. People will go see it. We just got to keep it in the theater.
Eric, man, I know you saw Tenet, man. Have you seen anything else?
Tenet, and we saw Scream
Hey,
the other day.
Jock and
which
my
was cool.
steez.
Was it good?
Tenet, yeah, it was great.
Oh, Scream.
The Scream is great. That's a 5-star movie right there.
I swear.
It's true.
I swear.
But no, I think that's it. The only 2 things I've seen. Yeah, Tenet, Scream.
Where y'all know I've been going crazy over like the past like 6 weeks.
Yeah.
I saw Empire Strikes Back. I saw Beetlejuice, Nightmare on Elm Street, Scream. I was gonna see V for Vendetta yesterday, but hopefully they'll have it next weekend and I can see it closer to the 5th of November.
Yeah, on the 5th.
No. My theaters closed weekdays and the 5th falls on a Thursday. And yeah. I think Eric low key like loved Tenet, right?
Yeah, no, it's not perfect. It's I think out of 5 I gave it 4.5, but it's but I saw it. Yeah, that's right. I actually saw it twice. I saw it, so Tenet.
Me and Nick are still trying to figure it out.
Twice,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm still like, don't even know if I saw it.
Yeah, it's the typical Nolan movie. I mean, him and his theme based around time. But yeah, I love the movie, especially the second time around.
Hey, Javon, you haven't been back to the theater?
Nah, man. Listen, family man, dog. I got kids and all that.
It's understandable, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, we're not trying to like push nobody back into the theater, but you know what I'm saying. Like that's our like second home. But it's completely understandable for anybody that's not comfortable going back yet. Let me see.
I'm comfortable. It's just that, family man.
Yeah.
As soon as they drop a Marvel movie, I'm going. I don't care what the circumstances.
Leave the kids in the lobby.
Another 2 years, bro.
Hell yeah. Let me see. A couple of these other things I want to touch on real quick. Like that streaming service Quibi is already shutting down. I think when it first came out, I know Javon was telling me about that Dane DeHaan show.
Right.
And I don't think any of us had the streamer. Did y'all hear if it was even good? Like
I watched that show.
Was it good?
It was pretty good. I mean, all the episodes were 11 minutes long, right?
Yeah.
So it's like literal snippets. And honestly, Quibi, this was a bad time for Quibi to drop, right?
It's too many streamers.
Well, not only that, but they couldn't account for the coronavirus happening, right? So if in a normal world, everybody's living their life, they're on the subway, they ride the bus, they're doing all that stuff, it's kind of perfect for that because you got something quick that you can watch or whatever, right? The problem is Quibi dropped right when the coronavirus happened and nobody's leaving the house. So
everybody's at home.
So everybody's not like dying for content. There's a million streaming services out and they got time, right?
Yeah.
So you can watch a 45-minute show or an hour movie or a 2-hour movie or whatever, and it's good. So Quibi is not really good for that. It's for busy people that's like, oh, I want some quick content. You know what I mean? So this is just a bad time for them.
That's what I'm saying.
And another thing, no, I'm sorry, Randy.
Go ahead, E.
Is with Quibi, I don't think they marketed it very well because, like Javon was saying, all of their shows are 6 to 11 minutes. Like The Fugitive with Kiefer Sutherland, that's I think they range from 7 to 11. And also, people don't know that it's supposed to be strictly for the cell phone.
Right.
Word.
You know, people see a streaming service like, ooh, wow, man.
Date
it was
night.
just, I guess it looked good on paper, but it didn't work out. Bad timing, bad marketing.
And the show that you were speaking of that I watched, it wasn't bad. It actually, like, I did want to continue watching it, but what ended up happening for me is like it wasn't enough content for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, as a person that like to see shows through, because I love shows. So if you like to see shows through, and each episode is 11 minutes, it's like what 7 episodes is 30 minutes, right? Or whatever, something like that. And then it's like it's just over. Like, damn, that's what I'm gonna watch. You know what I mean? Like it was not enough.
You gonna go to Amazon, Netflix, HBO Max,
Right.
Hulu?
But I mean, but if you're trying to invest in Quibi, right? If we're talking about investing in Quibi specifically, you watch 45 minutes. If you have 45 minutes, you can watch the whole series, right?
Yeah.
And then it's like, all right, so now what? You know what I mean? And that's the problem with it. Like I think they should have extended the shows to more, maybe 15 to 20 minutes. I feel like that would have been a little bit better of a situation.
But like you said, Javon, I mean, they couldn't account for, it was made specifically for on the train, on the bus, or whatever.
Right. On the go. Right.
It just
Reading a book or something.
Ain't nobody trying to
Right.
invest in Quibi, man. Like Amazon Prime got The Boys, Jack Ryan, Handmaid's Tale. Netflix has everything, original movies and all of that. HBO Max has like all their classic TV shows, even if they haven't had like a show that's really caught on yet. Like Quibi was doomed off jump. But let me see.
Think about it like this though we're all people that love movies and TV shows, so we're gonna put time aside to be able to do that, right? And we love it. Those TV shows are gonna be between 30 minutes to an hour. Quibi was not made for us or our generation, to be honest. It's made for the younger generation, because the younger generation is give it to me right now. Like they don't even listen to albums, right? They pick their favorite songs.
He about to get into talking about his kids right quick.
No, but I'm just saying, I that's how I felt. Like thinking about it, it's like the kids now, they like that quick, accessible content, and then they like to move on. Like they don't commit to anything. So Quibi is more for them. Like they could watch that in 45 minutes and be done. So I think.
What happened?
Quibi, I agree, is doomed from the
reason it didn't hit with kids like the younger generation is because they can watch 6-minute shit on YouTube
right
for free, and like TikTok and all that, or like you go on Facebook and you watch a video, you'll just get nonstop videos,
right,
and just go into that wormhole for free. So I feel like no one, like the consumers, weren't able to justify spending money on it. I didn't.
And like you guys said too as well, the shows that they decided to create wasn't good for their market, generate the people. Like they recreated punk, where the kids today don't even know what the hell punk is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's not a show that they're gonna be interested in. Like they, so that as well, like the shows need to be more, compatible to the generation they was trying to aim for. So I just feel like it was just a bad.
All right, man. We don't put too much time into Quibi than I wanted to. Real quick, really quick. They announced. Nick is gonna drag this one out. They announced that next season is the last season of The Walking Dead. And Daryl and Carol, Norman Reedus, and what's her name, Melissa. Nick, help me out.
McBride.
There you go, Melissa McBride. They're about to get their own series to go along with Worlds Collide that just started. Fear the Walking Dead is in season 5, season 6. Nick, react to the last season of The Walking Dead. The original premiere just celebrated 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, it's time. I mean, most people fell off The Walking Dead at some point, like right after when Negan showed up. I'm still like every Sunday, like ass on the couch, 9 o'clock. Like it's still as good to me as it ever was. But like it's time. Like it's like Breaking Bad. Had Breaking Bad lasted like 10 seasons, we'd have probably been over it at some point. Been like, well, we didn't need to drag this out.
Breaking Bad is fucking perfect.
It's like, to me, The Walking Dead isn't like dragged out that much, and I love it. But like, I feel like after everything that just happened last season, it can go out on like a high note. To me, I don't know about everyone else that gave up on it, but like to me, this last season built up all this stuff. So like, it's time. I'm excited to just see.
Yeah, like I commented on your celebratory post. Like I'm still watching, but it's not like not when Negan showed up, because like that initial Negan episode was like shocking as hell.
Yeah.
But it's
that
like
was
they dragged out Negan for like 2 seasons. And
Yeah.
like by that second season, it's like, okay, bro, like I'm over this.
So to me, it was like that episode where he showed up. Well, it was the 2 episodes really that
Yeah,
he showed up.
because
It was
that,
like
that was a
finale.
massive cliffhanger.
And then that was like a pop culture like phenomenon. That was like Who Shot JR? Like everybody was talking about Walking. People that didn't watch The Walking Dead were
Bro,
talking about like
kids don't know what punked is. You think kids know what Dallas is?
like the kids were talking about it.
Okay,
Like,
how about
like
Who
they
Shot
were
Mr.
talking about
Burns?
that. Yeah.
Hey,
You had like the Dave Chappelle skit on Saturday Night Live. Like it was big enough to like justify something like that. Like he was on magazine covers. Like it was huge. Robot Chicken did the special. Like around that time was like the peak of its popularity.
Yeah.
Like everybody watched it. And I don't think, as good as Jeffrey Dean Morgan is in the role, and he probably should have been nominated for an Emmy for playing Negan, I don't think Negan the character ever like lived up to that again. Like he was
No.
never. There's like people that were super into the show like me. I was like sweating watching that. You know, when he beat the people's, I don't, spoiler, like when he was like beating people's heads, I was like sweating. I was like, you know, cold. Like I was like, oh my God, like it felt real. And it never was like that again. When he would show up and it would be like, oh shit. And every time he would show up after that, it was like, well, he's not going to beat anybody else with a baseball bat. Like he did that already. Like,
Yeah.
it's not going to. So I feel like that's when people started to, like, they were just over. And then, I don't want to go into spoilers, but the Carl incident.
The incident.
I think was when a lot of people stopped. Yeah, the Carl situation. I think that's when a lot of people stopped watching altogether.
Yeah,
Like,
I think a lot of fans took.
That's about the time my sister.
I think a lot of fans took the Carl thing like Michael Jordan, like, and I took that seriously. I took that personally.
Yeah, and I took that. Yeah. That's when my sister stopped watching it.
Yeah.
About that time. She was.
That's when I stopped.
Yeah, and she just.
Carl got you out of The Walking Dead, Eric?
Yeah, it's and another thing, I'm surprised y'all didn't bring up this particular phrase that's used when it comes to TV shows, and I think this show is the perfect example when the
Sharks can't jump, bro.
Don't say it.
Sharks don't have legs.
Into the premiere of the next season, when we actually see who Negan beats with the bat, that's look at Nick.
Don't say it.
But it's true now. People misunderstand what that phrase means, and that episode when Negan beats them is when the episode Jump the Shark.
No.
Yeah, but the thing is, Jump the Shark doesn't mean that the show gets bad from that point. That just means that it's reached its peak.
Yeah, it's looking for the
still
next.
Still a good show, but that was it. Like you said, is that sense of danger from Negan couldn't get any higher.
But everything with Alpha like brought it back though. Like everything with Alpha was really good.
Yeah,
it's
still a good show. But no, go ahead, Nick.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, the last 2 seasons, like with the Whisperers and all that, were better to me than a lot of those middle seasons with like Rick and the crew. Like I think like season 2, like where they were on the farm. Like I loved it at the time, and I still do. But like when I go back and like rewatch it, I'm like, wow, they're doing nothing a lot. Like they're walking around and Beth's in bed and they're eating peaches.
That's right.
And like there weren't any, and there were a lot of, you know, in that Negan era, there were a lot of episodes where nothing happened. Like a lot of just Eugene walking around trying to figure out what he wants to do, and Tara going to the ocean place and doing nothing. Like there are a lot of episodes. They got that new showrunner, Angela Kang, I think is her name. And there hasn't been like a weak episode the last 2 seasons.
And I was about to say, Nick, I'm glad you brought that up. I think a lot of that nothingness that happened early, like the second season you mentioned, and then with Negan, it's that Frank Darabont hangover, if y'all are familiar with that situation.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, a lot of people didn't know what to do from his original plan, and it's unfortunate people dropped off, but hopefully, people rewatch it, and it's on Netflix, so
Yeah, my niece got into it over the summer. Like she started watching it, and it's like she was like, I don't know anybody that watches it, and I was like,
Leave my house.
like she's 14, so I was like, well, watch it, and she got so into it. Like she was texting me about it, like talking about it nonstop. And I said, if you don't know people that watch it, it's gonna seem like no one watches it. But once you know about it and like you get on social media and like search something about it, it's everywhere. Like people are making those like those like music things. Like this is my edit of like Daryl and Carol walking around. And I'm like, adults don't do that. Kids do that. So like kids are watching the show. So I'm excited. And just aside, Fear the Walking Dead right now is better than it has ever been, and people need to like pick back up. So far, like this new season is shaping up to be like its best season. The spin-off show, The World Beyond, so far is trash.
Did I say Worlds Collide?
Yeah, I think so. It doesn't. So far, it is. I won't say trash, but it is boring. Like there's nothing there's barely anything eventful happening.
They're building up toward these Rick movies that everybody's gonna go see, whether they've fallen off or not.
Maybe they're doing it too slow. Like they're doing it too late in the game.
It's gonna be like the Entourage movie. Like Rick's been gone 5 years. Who cares now?
Yeah, Rick he left in the middle of season 9. Season 10 just ended, and like. They should have, if that was the plan, which what Scott Gimple made it seem like that was the big plan all along. It's like, we're going to have Rick do these feature films. I don't think that was the plan. I think that was something they wanted to do and were trying to speak into existence. I think if it was the plan, they should have had it ready. They should have been like, oh yeah, we'll film next week, and they should have been out by now.
Yeah.
But that's what, like, the spinoff show is touching on those, like, the 3 Rings, like, helicopter people, but it's doing it way too slow.
That's all the hashtags on Twitter.
Yeah, the end of every episode, they'll give you like a little piece of information about these people and like what they do. The last episode actually told you some big stuff, but still, it's like still too little, too late. Like I'm just like, oh my god, just where is Richard Grimes? Like where is he?
Richard,
this is dumb. But yeah, I'm excited. They're making the last season longer, so it's like more for me. And then Fear is still great. So,
all right, sticking in TV. So Javon doesn't watch The Walking Dead. He hasn't said anything for that whole time. So, sticking in TV, I think we're all a fan. Like a month or so ago, maybe less, it was announced that Dexter is going to come back next year in some, like, supposedly it's like a one-off, like however many episodes, and to give Dexter that proper send-off. Merritt, like at a point, like Dexter was your end-all, be-all favorite show of all time. So, how do you feel about this? Whatever we're calling this last.
Bear in mind, real quick,
mini run.
I have not watched Dexter, and I'm going to. So, like, I don't know. Don't ruin it for me.
Oh, you haven't seen any Dexter?
I have not watched Dexter.
Are you?
We can talk about this without spoiling.
I'm kind of blown away now.
I'm going to watch it. I've always avoided it because I heard the last season was so trash. So I was like, I'm not going to do that to myself. But now, I can.
No, listen. But listen. The first 4 seasons is good enough that it was worth it.
It's some of the best TV ever.
Listen, the first 4 seasons were incredible. Like the first 4 seasons stands up to any show. Period. Is the other 4 that is like.
Not like I recently rewatched all 8 seasons. 5 isn't as bad as I think it was initially reacted to.
Nah,
and then like
it wasn't season 4.
Yeah, 6 because to get the fallout from 4, you have to watch 5. You know what I'm saying? And then 6 doesn't really get bad, but it snowballs into those last 2 seasons.
Yeah, but like the 2 things for me. For one, once you do season 4, because season 4 was so incredible, and the villain or the bad person of that series was so incredible, they were never going to top that, man. Never. They were never going to top that. That was the first thing. The second thing too is I don't remember I don't know if y'all watched Dexter at the time as it was happening. Randy, I know you were, but I don't know about you guys. I don't
Yeah, I
know if
was.
you watched at the time that it was happening. But
No.
if you remember that, they didn't know. They starting at like season six. Season six was originally supposed to be the last season, and then season seven was supposed to be the last season, and then they did season eight. So like I think at that those 3 seasons specifically, they didn't know what to do. They didn't know how to end the show.
That's what
You know?
Showtime does, though. I don't mean to cut you off, but that's what Showtime does. Like Californication hit its peak with like season 4, ironically, and then
Yeah.
5, 6, and 7 were all written like they were gonna be the last season.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where like I don't know if the show fell off because specifically because it was supposed to end 3 seasons prior to when it did, and they just kept on adding stuff because of views and money and all that, or if it was one of those things where they just simply ran out of ideas. Because I agree, I thought season 5
Just base that
was
shit on a
pretty good
book.
too. I thought season 5 was pretty good too. It just wasn't gonna be better than season
Nah.
4. And because Dexter had been going up each season, it was one of those things that was like, man, what are they going to do next year? And when it wasn't as good as season 4, it was kind of like, you know.
I came in like I wasn't watching it from jump off season 1. Like I discovered Dexter in the episode. I think like I just like had it on or like let me see a little bit, see if I like it. Julia Stiles, Lumen had seen him do his thing on like the guy that held her captive. I hope that's not too much spoiler.
No, it's not.
So I was hooked.
Right. I'm excited for this whatever it is, this one off or this continuation or whatever. I'm excited for it because I love the show, and I kind of want to see what they're going to do. Like, are they the same actors? Like, are where they're going to go with the story? Where they're going to start? Like, what? Like, I'm interested to see those things and know those things. So, I'm ready. I want to see what's happening.
Before you jump in, Eric, like I think the writers of that last season are doing this, and that's what like my reservation. Like I'm gonna watch, but my reservation is it's basically the same brain trust that wrote that last season, and it's like he can't go back to Miami. You know what I'm saying? He can't go back to Miami. So you can't bring back Batista. You can't bring back his sister, the babysitter. I heard that they might be trying to bring back Deb, and like I almost said some shit. Like let's cut that off. So like I hope there's like a proper end instead of what we got, because I don't want to talk. You know, I don't want to bring out no paper towels and spoil something for Nick. Eric, react before I spoil some shit.
I like to hear what Nick has to say about the show.
To me, Dexter has always been a show.
Dexter's Laboratory.
That's definitely it's a TV show. It's a show on TV.
But seriously, no. So yeah, I was with Dexter from. It drew me in when they was showing the teasers. I don't even know if y'all remember it. He was doing a voiceover on Dokes. Like, why is he? But yeah, and one of the most classic characters in TV history, Dokes.
Surprise, motherfucker.
But anyway, I don't know if you all know, even our watchers and listeners, Dexter is based on a series of books. And after the first season, they veered off a lot from the books. And
I wish every season would have just been a different book.
Yeah, they really did dramatically different. But anyway, so it's always have something to do with the showrunner, because somewhere along the lines the showrunners changed, and it is crazy how much that can affect the show. But yeah, I'm glad. Hopefully these writers learned something. I don't want to say they're mistakes, but
shit. Oh yeah, mistakes.
But you know what?
What's that?
Like, I don't know. See, the reason why I'm excited specifically is because watching this, and like I used to call Randy and we used to talk about it all the time. And we would talk about the show and we'd be saying what's going on in the episodes and all that stuff. You could tell they ran out of ideas, man.
Yeah.
It was like they were reaching for stuff, right? Like they brought in all these new love interests for no reason, and like whatever, all these things, right? So
it's
So
the textbook writer back against the wall syndrome. You can like stuff, and well, not specifically because Nick is here, but but anyway, yeah, it's especially the last season, characters doing silly things they wouldn't have otherwise done and being reckless. I'm like, how they just go from here and
right.
but yeah, they have to have learned the lesson from that. It's the reason this is happening because conversations have had to have been had. Like, yeah, we can't leave it where we left it. And
Yeah.
also, oh, go ahead.
I'm excited about this new version simply because I feel like they've given themselves time to have ideas.
Yeah.
Right? Because the show was so popular and so many things were going on at the time,
Yeah, that's a good
they didn't
point.
have time to come up with new ideas, but people were saying, "Hey, what's happening next?" Right?
Yeah.
So
Wasn't there a writer strike that happened somewhere?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
think
well,
so. Yeah. But
so,
anyway, it was just they. But yeah, the show is Nick. You got to get on that, buddy.
Well, yeah, that's the plan is to just. I actually own a couple seasons of it, like that I found like at Goodwills and shit, and so like it was always the plan, and then I always just heard that the last season was so bad. They were like, "Don't waste your time," and I was like, "Well, I won't. My time is valuable."
It's like
the first 4 seasons, you have to watch them.
Yeah.
Because even if you watch the first 4 seasons and then you didn't watch no more, you would probably leave thinking like, man, this is probably one of the greatest shows I've ever seen in my whole life.
Yeah.
Like,
to me, the last season, it's fine. It's just the finale.
Yeah.
Like that last episode, everybody, I don't know, people Nick has talked to about Dexter, it sounds like they hated the finale and bought that into the whole season's trash.
Yeah, the whole series. Yeah.
You always see that that meme of like with the drawing of the horse.
Yeah,
and it's like
that's accurate for Dexter.
And it's always Dexter. Like, what TV show is this? Everyone says Dexter, and like there's like 2 Game of Thrones. Everyone,
but
everyone says Dexter.
I always felt like as much as that's used, those things are used to bash Dexter as a show.
Probably.
I always viewed that also as like how much people loved it as well.
Yeah.
Because there was a time like at the beginning, like them first 4 seasons where everybody and like the internet and everything wasn't like it is now.
Yeah.
Dexter was a big deal. Dexter was a big deal. And then like
I'm kind of
like
a
said,
big
like,
deal.
that last season, people started to hate it because of that last season and the finale or whatever. But like when they do those things and they're like, "Oh, Dexter was so good in the beginning," and then it fell off. That's because they loved it so much early. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Facts.
There's a lot of shows.
It's the most memorable show that's like that. Like, oh,
Yeah.
we love this, but it got so bad. You know what I mean? Like,
there's a lot of shows, and it's almost like you forget how popular, like True Blood. Like, I used to know people that watched that show like religiously, and apparently, like, it started sucking. I never watched it. Apparently, it started getting bad at some point.
It is about
It's almost
vampires.
like you forget how popular shows are because they fall off so hard at some point. I feel like Walking Dead is there now. Like, everybody's like, Jesus, who still watches this? And it's like, at one point, it was like a phenomenon. And like, I remember when Dexter was.
well, because that pressure get put on it. When they when those shows first come out, True Blood, Dexter, Breaking Bad, when those shows first come out, right? They're doing something totally different, out of the box, and they don't even know if it's gonna work, right? So they put it out, and then people fall in love with it, right? And at first, there's no expectation. They're like, man, we're gonna put this out. Let's see if it works, right? And then it does, and people fall in love with it. So season 1, season 2, season 3, they have all these ideas, and they're able to execute them, right? But once you execute all your ideas, now people have expectations of, okay, you got to top this. You got to top season 4. And the more seasons you have, the less ideas you have.
Yep.
But you know something? Out of all those shows you named, Javon, one of those shows ended on a good note. I think all of us can agree, and I think that's Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad.
Yep.
Yeah.
Breaking Bad was
Even
perfect, man.
Sopranos.
I think Vince Gilligan had like a window, like this is what's gonna happen at the beginning. Actually, I take that back while I'm putting my own foot in my mouth. I think that they was originally gonna end after season 4, like after Gus.
They wanted him to come back.
Yeah, and then like you know what I'm saying, money talks.
So has everybody seen Breaking Bad?
Breaking Bad had how many seasons? I watched the whole thing, but how many seasons was I'm forgetting?
It's 5.
5.
Yeah.
So,
Technically 5.
Yeah.
right. So if Dexter stops at 5, it's still competitive, right?
Yeah.
Everybody would agree with. I mean, you haven't.
I would agree.
Why do you keep dragging him?
No, it's just because you know.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Is like if Dexter ended at season 5, even if I think that even if the finale would have been similar, but it ended at season 5, I think that people would have still been like, "Yo, this Dexter holds up." It would still be in the top 5s and top 10s.
Yeah, I think people still will consider Game of Thrones probably one of the best shows ever, even though it fell off that last season. Pretty much every season up to
Did
that
it though?
was
It's
great.
a show. I don't know, Randy. You ready to end the topic?
Yeah.
Because I got
No.
one show that has jumped the shark, put jetpacks on the shark, then sent the
Damn.
shark into orbit.
That sounds like
And,
Batman the movie.
Great.
It's a network show. The show's still on. It's just like it's just going through the motions.
Oh, The Simpsons.
The Simpsons.
Grey's Anatomy.
I just wanted to get that out there. And, man.
Who's that Grey's Anatomy?
Yo, the next thing I was gonna bring up, like I don't even want to talk about this because there hasn't been no like official confirmation, but like that Creed 3 news like has me excited. But I just wanted to brush over that shit. Have we all seen the Red Hood for Titan season 3?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, have you seen like Nick? Have you seen Titans or is this another Dexter?
I haven't watched any of that
Oh
yet.
my god!
I will. That's kind of the goal in January. If like the world is still like trash, I'll probably start. I might just put it in Arrow and just start from there and just take that whole ride and eventually get to Titans and all that. Or maybe I'll just start with Titans. I don't know.
What do we think about Oscar Isaac as Moon Knight?
I like
Good.
that. I think
Yeah.
Dope, right?
Right.
All right. It's been so long. All I really remember from Fandom is the Flash news. Is there anything? Is there anything else to touch on before we just get into these multiverses?
Man, how long ago? That was August, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like right after I shut down.
And I was just thinking about this in the car driving over here. I was like, driving over here, I was like, if I didn't have anywhere to be, I would chase that bastard down. But I was also thinking of no DC Fandom. They premiered the teaser of Zack Snyder's Justice League, right?
Yes.
And that just started filming, I believe, a week ago.
Why that shit look better than the whole regular movie?
It's crazy. So basically, what they're doing with this, I guess it's gonna be miniseries, is they're letting Zack make his original 2-part Justice League movie. It seems like.
That's so fire.
Yeah, and if anybody, all of us have in some way, shape, or form has I'm good. This is a victory for creators.
Yeah.
You know, it usually doesn't happen like this. And now we're pulling for the Ayer cut and all that. But anyway,
Are we?
No shit. Like James Gunn's gonna come out, and then everybody's gonna forget about David Ayer's Suicide Squad.
But no, back to Zack though. I'm glad this is happening. This is the main reason I'm gonna get HBO Max. And it also exposed, because a lot has happened in 2020. It exposed that toxic,
Ray Fisher.
Yeah, that thing going on with Ray Fisher and you know, just the type of abuse that filmmakers have to deal with and be quiet about because somebody wants to stroke their ego. And I'm glad that's coming to light, and a lot of other stuff has been exposed because of that. But no, back to the main thing, DC Fandom. I just don't understand. Maybe y'all can explain it to me. Okay, if you're not a fan of Snyder, whatever, that's you.
Yeah.
I think he's one of the better filmmakers. But people are going in like I hate him. It's just like it's personal. I'm like, geez, for real?
Dude, there's been a certain like section of like movie reactors and this culture who, at the very least, since Man of Steel, like I go as far back as Watchmen, who just had like this grudge against Zack Snyder.
Yeah, I don't know what it is because and most people think like this, and we've been doing this a while. If they don't like something, that is bad, that is horrible.
Yeah.
It's a lot of things I don't like, but I know that objectively it's good.
Good, right? Yeah.
And people can't get past their own, I guess, ego, whatever you want to do it. For example, The Revenant. I'm not the biggest fan of The Revenant, but I know it is one of Leo's best performances, and it's a well-made movie. I could balance the two, but
even though he should have won Best Actor like 20 times before that.
Exactly.
Yeah. I guess what I don't understand about it is like the consensus is most people didn't like the original Justice League movie, right?
Yeah.
Right? So Zack Snyder is getting a chance to redo it, I guess, make it better, right? And people are still complaining. I don't understand that.
Yeah, exactly. It's
like, you don't like the original movie, right? Like overall, you don't like the original movie, but you're complaining about Zack Snyder, and you're getting another version of the movie. Like I don't get that.
I don't know if y'all watch like Collider or like AMC Movie News or whatever, but I think like John Campea, like I think dude is one of the biggest tools to ever grace the internet. But every time a remake would come out, he would say like, bro, like you could watch the remake. It doesn't erase the last one. Like Zack Snyder shit is gonna come out, and it's not gonna erase what Joss Whedon ruined and how Warner Brothers fucking used A Death in the Family to push out the director's original vision because y'all motherfuckers didn't like BVS.
Yeah, it was just a whole.
Yeah,
it was a whole chain reaction of bad decisions. First of all, when the whole DCEU, let's copy Marvel, that was the first mistake.
Yeah. Like their best attempt at making a Marvel movie is Shazam. Shazam is fun as fuck.
Yeah.
I like Shazam.
And that's you say that, and during that point, like when the Wonder Womans and the Shazam started to come out, they started to let filmmakers do what they do and be filmmakers.
Yeah.
And not killing their movies in post production like
Editing
David Ayer and Snyder and all them.
But DCEU, like to put the cherry on top of how bad the DC universe and all them making that has been, they came out with the DCEU app, right? For you to go and have all the content in one place or whatever. And it's kind of like, and I've been on it recently because my mom wanted to watch Swamp Thing for whatever reason.
That shit is on the CW now.
So I rebought the membership. I paid the $7.99, so she could do that. And it's one of those things where it's like a ghost town on there. Like it's like, right? It's like nothing's being added. It's just there, right?
But aren't they merging that with HBO Max now?
Yeah, like I think all their original shit is going to Max, and the DC Universe app is going to be predominantly comics.
Right, but to me, that's the cherry on top of like how bad decision making it's been. It's like y'all created this app, and it was supposed to be revolutionary, and it's like, oh no, we're not doing that no more. We're gonna move it to HBO Max. Like,
but like that's what I want to roll into though. Like who all like over like the past month, like who all has been announced to get added into the Snyder Cut? Leto,
everybody.
Like Ryan Reynolds, like there's talk. Ryan Reynolds is about to be Green Lantern in that bitch. Yeah, like I don't think so, but like the rumor is out there.
We missed that. Why would we want that? I'm not saying like I don't want that, but like why would we want Ryan Reynolds back as the Green Lantern?
Yeah.
Like, why?
That bitch.
I mean, like.
But was he really the problem with that movie, or was it just a horrible writing and directing?
To me, Martin Campbell dopest movies are his Bond movies and at least his first Zorro. Green Lantern was just too big for Martin Campbell, in my opinion. Like maybe the writing. Like Ryan Reynolds was Ryan Reynolds. Like he's always gonna bring like a humorous energy to whatever he's in. Like Free Guy looks hilarious.
Yeah.
And like that was supposed to be the original jump off for the DCEU. Yeah. Like Amanda Waller is in that bitch.
Yeah, I was super excited for Green Lantern before it came out.
Like they set up Sinestro like my bad, Nick, but the Sinestro post credit scene, like that's my favorite post credit scene that'll never get a payoff.
Yeah, I remember that being a thing. I remember Mark Strong getting cast as Sinestro, assuming
Perfect.
Sinestro would like be the bad guy, and I was like, that's gonna kick ass. Like, I was
Yeah.
like, that's gonna be so good. And then it just the whole movie, and like Michael Clark Duncan was what you call it, the yeah. I was like, oh my god, this is shaping up to be amazing.
Yeah,
And
this
then,
is
like, I
perfect
get to the
casting.
theater, and I was like, oh, that was that.
No, it was. I'm sorry, Nick, but it's overall the biggest problem with that movie is the writing. Overall, is
For sure.
is poorly constructed and this and that, and the
Hey,
gigantic fart cloud comes in at the end, and
two or three kids later, man, Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively are found happiness.
That's what I was gonna say. At least they met each other, and they're they're cute or whatever.
Some of the visuals in that movie looked weird too, though. Like sometimes, like when he changed it to a suit and stuff, it was kind of like, that don't.
I
that was
know,
a big
right?
controversy. Remember?
Right.
Remember they hyped it up like they were like the suits are gonna be all CGI, and like some people, at least I remember people were like, wow, this is gonna be crazy. This is like the next step.
Right.
It's gonna be amazing, and it just like was weird. Like something about it was weird.
But
Anyway.
see, I don't know. I think like that's a show like Green Lantern's getting a show on Max that I think is gonna like right the wrongs for Green Lantern, and then but that's gonna roll into like the Flash. Like I want to talk about the Flash because that's gonna reset the universe. Like I got all the faith in the world in the Flash. Andy Muschietti directing. I love both It movies, so I assume he's gonna like kill it with the Flash. Michael Keaton coming back. They're gonna cross over into that universe. Like I've geeked out and put every DC movie I own all together in my collection, and I don't think Ben Affleck is gonna be in it as much as people expect, but I think he's probably like just gonna like give the okay or whatever. But I think The Flash is gonna be that movie that like erases what they don't want people to acknowledge and set up just like dope shit for the future.
The days of future past for DC, just to go back and be like.
You know, I guess depending on how well this Justice League does, they're saying that it's not going to be canon, but if they do want to make that decision, they can.
Yeah.
To right those wrongs or whatever you want to refer to it as, but that's the thing with I guess the Flashpoint, and like you said, Nick, that's the Days of Future Past thing. They could except hopefully like those X-Men movies, they don't just fuck it right back up, but.
But that was what I was about to say. It's like this is something I always talk to Randy about. It's like they do the Flashpoint and they can pretty much start from scratch, right? My problem is DC needs to like mindset wise, like come up with whatever they decide they want to do, and then stick with it. Whether it's hit, miss, indifferent, whatever, they need to ride it out because Marvel's biggest. Like the thing that they did the best was whether they put out something, whether it was good or bad, whether people loved it or not, they saw it through, right?
Yeah.
Like people overall hate the Thor 3 movie series, right? They don't like the first one, they don't like the second one, right? And Marvel knew that, but they saw it through. And then they got to the third movie, they figured out how they wanted to do Thor, they did it really well, and moving forward, Thor is like probably most people's favorite character from the MCU, right?
Yeah.
But sure. Marvel saw that through. I feel like DC, as soon as something is not like, they're like, oh, we gotta
panic.
Start over. We gotta erase this. We gotta it's like no, you're gonna have to see it through regardless of what it is. You know what I mean? I don't think it's a good idea that they're changing all the characters for Suicide Squad. I think they should have the same team that saw it through. You know what I mean?
Well, that was. It seemed like that was the original idea, that it was complete, like almost complete reboot. And then people were like, well, that sucks. And then so they were like, well, Harley Quinn will be in it. And then they added Captain Boomerang and Rick Flag. I feel like I read that after, like, well, okay,
Amanda
we'll bring
Waller.
them back. Like, it makes more sense for it to be a sequel. Because, like, Suicide Squad was a massive hit. And, like, you talk to, like, a casual, like, the average person, they liked Suicide Squad, and like my dad liked Suicide Squad a lot. Like he thought it was great. He didn't notice any editing mistakes. And then like most people, like dude I used to work with, like he thought Jared Leto was like the end all be all of Joker. Like he thought he was like amazing. He's like it was so different than all the other Jokers, and I was like, well, did you see all the other Jokers? He was like, well, no. But like, so it was like, there's, you know, if you just made Suicide Squad 2, it would be a massive hit, like without explaining it to, you know, people that aren't.
But that's the problem. Is like they don't see anything through. So when you're always starting over and over and over, you're giving the fans more chances to not like whatever it is you do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if you keep the cast and you say, all right, we did Suicide Squad, our fans didn't like this, right? Then you already have a blueprint for, you know, what you started, and you can say we're gonna do this better moving forward and continue to like progress with those characters, with those stories, with with that symmetry. But when you're always starting over, then you're giving your fans something to compare it to say what they like and don't like between the two. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like if they did a Ben Affleck Batman movie, right? And then we have this new Batman movie coming out. Well, of course, the first thing that's going to happen is people are going to compare the two. That's what's going to happen. So they're going to not like about this one, and they're going to not like about that one. That's the problem with always starting over. So now with the Suicide Squad movie, the second one, they're going to say, "Well, I don't like that Will Smith is not in it," or I don't like that they did. You know what I mean? But you're giving them something else to not like rather than improving what you think they didn't like the first time. So they have to start seeing things through because they want to copy the Marvel blueprint so much. It's like when Marvel made their mistakes, they just improved on them as they went on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like they continue to say, all right, they didn't like this so much, we can fix this. People generally didn't like Thor. They didn't like his personality. They didn't like the stories. They didn't like him in the beginning.
I loved Thor. I just want to put that out. I thought Thor 1 was like the best movie.
I like Thor movie. I like Thor 1 too. I tell Randy this all the time. I really like that movie. Thor 2, not so much. But you know, they his personality in the age of both, and he was his personality, his jokes, how he was, how strong he was totally different in Age of Ultron. And from that point on, Thor's been rolling.
Yeah, Thor's been money since Age of Ultron.
Right.
Yeah.
I think DC like put out Man of Steel, and the next movie in the universe didn't come out for 3 years, man. They never had a long-term plan.
Yeah,
Man of Steel was incredible. Man of Steel was incredible.
Yeah.
Like if you ask me, the biggest mistake DC made is not doing a Man of Steel 2. Like what are we waiting on? That movie was incredible.
Yeah.
I didn't think Man of Steel was incredible. Like at the time it came out, it was like my most anticipated movie, and to me it didn't live up to my expectations. But even that, I'm like, why wasn't there a second?
Nobody understood. Like Zack Snyder was building up to like the Superman everybody knows. Like he was, he's finding his way in Man of Steel. He feels unappreciated in BVS. He was gonna be True Justice in the American way in Justice League, and we'll finally get to see that next year.
I've grown to enjoy it more over time, but like when it came out, I was like, lots of punching, lots of explosions.
Whose baby's playing with a toy?
But then it was like 3 years. It took 3 years to do another movie, and it was like, and then like that year they did that in Suicide Squad like back to back. So it was like obvious that they were just copying the Marvel model.
And then they overreacted to the Twitter reaction.
Yeah.
But the Man of Steel, like I just felt like the Man of Steel, like they had like an amazing villain in that movie. Like the story
Michael Shannon,
was great.
bro.
Like Zod was incredible, man. Listen, like I watched that movie and I was like, man, Zod is gonna kill Superman, man. This is what happened. So I really like Man of Steel. It sucks that they haven't done. They should have did Man of Steel 2 a long time ago.
Yeah, it makes no sense that they didn't even do it like Iron Man 1, Iron Man 2, and then it was like all the rest of the movies pretty much. Like, they could have just done that. Like in the meantime, let's make Man of Steel 2.
Y'all know Wonder Woman 84 is about to be like the first proper DCEU sequel.
I was just about to say that. It's like, we're gonna get a Wonder Woman 2 movie and probably a Shazam 2 movie before Man of Steel 2.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Aquaman 2, all of that shit.
Right.
Merritt, did you see the trailer for the Batman?
I did.
What you think?
I'm loving the promotion and where it looks like the story is going with the new Batman. I'm loving the idea of him being more the detective. I'm looking forward to that, and I'm really looking forward to this Riddler storyline because I always liked the Riddler, and I
Yeah.
always like seeing him challenge Batman's mind and all that. Like we've had enough of the brutal Batman beating people to a pulp. Batman.
Oh, but he still beats motherfuckers to a pulp,
Yeah,
though.
well, he kind of did that in the trailer.
No. I agree. No, he's always gonna do that. But it's the movies are pretty much 75% of him doing that in the past Batman movies. It's gonna be cool to like see him like us work through a mystery with him. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. It's like Cloverfield is good. I thought Let Me In was good. Matt Reeves directed Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, War for the Planet of the Apes. Those are like incredible. As Merritt would say, that shit is incredible. He's about to make Matt Reeves is cooking based off this trailer. He's cooking like a David Fincher-esque Batman movie.
Yeah, he's doing. It's like Seven. It's like Saw, but make it Batman. Like,
yeah,
like that was the vibe I got from the trailer, and I watched that trailer 500 times.
I'm still not convinced that's Colin Farrell.
As soon as that trailer dropped,
just give them the Oscar for that right now.
Makeup
and
costume design,
and boy, but you know something that's crazy. I guess it could be good and bad. They showed that trailer, and I don't know if it was a paper or something where there was like something written in code, and from the Riddler, and then all these people on Twitter solved it.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I already forgot what it was. Good thing.
How did they solve it though? Like
they
how
screenshot.
Motherfuckers are nerds, man. What you think?
I get that, but they don't even know. They don't even know.
Oh, my internet is so whack.
Like, what's happening in the movie?
I feel like I solved it. I feel like it was something kind of simple, but I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, but I definitely can't wait for it.
It was Zoe Kravitz is about to be perfect as Catwoman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's a no-brainer.
Godfather Part 2.
I want to see her like in the full. I mean, she might be wearing that like beanie the whole time, but I still want to see her like in full like get up. Like I want to see some like promotional images of her like robbing a bank or some shit.
I've seen like rumors or whatever that like Pattinson might get a second bat suit. I've also read that I don't think we're gonna get like the full developed characters. Like this is like Gotham, but as a movie. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not quite the characters we know yet.
Well, they're gonna build a universe, right?
Yeah, like they've already greenlit an HBO Max show and all of that shit.
I think that's dope. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to them bringing back a lot of the villains, man. I want the Penguin back. I want
right. Isn't it wild? Penguin, Riddler, Catwoman, all in one movie.
Right. I'm looking forward to that. Like for them to be serious characters too.
Yeah.
Not like a Jim Carrey Riddler. I want like the Riddler to be. You know they did the Riddler on the Gotham show or whatever, and he was like one of my favorite character on the whole show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But he was serious, but he was kind of still silly, but like he was serious and he was
I remember the first season of Gotham. Like that dude, he wasn't wearing green. He wasn't doing anything. You knew he was the Riddler as soon as he was in the first scene. Like
he worked at GCPD.
He like embodied the Riddler.
He was like perfect for that. He was casted perfect for that.
Yeah,
it was incredible.
I need to rewatch Gotham, but that is something that I remember taking away from that season. I was like, that's the Riddler for sure.
And he's good, but I'm hoping that like they're gonna do something like that, or maybe a little bit darker with this Riddler that we're gonna get in this movie.
I'm gonna say, just so it's out there, and like maybe my negative energy will affect change. I hope and like pray that based on that trailer, like he was like had the tape in people's heads, and like he like had the tape or whatever on his head with the glasses. Like I'm really hoping the villain is not Hush, and it is the Riddler, because like that's what they did with that Batman Hush movie. Spoiler alert! I don't even care. It was really stupid.
Yeah.
Like, ruined an otherwise really good animated DC.
Batman Hush was phenomenal until that reveal.
Yeah, up until that, I was like, wait, am I seeing this? And I'm just hoping that just based on his like little look in the trailer, that that's not what is happening in front of my face right now. Maybe he's just like wearing a mask and that's his thing. But I'm hoping they don't like do that. I feel like we overestimate Hush as a villain. I feel like everybody tries to do that. Like he was on Batwoman. He looked really stupid. I don't even watch that show, but he looked like paper mache head. I saw the thing,
bro. Like, yeah, like I don't know how. Like, I'm gonna veer off for like a quick second. They announced Black Lightning, Flash, Batwoman, and I think Superman and Lois premiere dates for the CW. And the way that Batwoman like cut off because of COVID, how do you start season 2?
I don't know. I don't watch it.
Oh, but you will. If the world is still shit.
At some point, I'm going to watch it. I'm going to be like, look how stupid Hush looks.
We close enough to an hour, so let me cut this off right quick. To put a bow on this, it's probably going to be like a half-hour bow, so strap in. Spider-Man 3 has made, you know what I'm saying, some announcements. Jamie Foxx is going to be in Spider-Man 3 as Electro. He let the cat out the bag and then deleted that shit saying he wasn't going to be Blue. So he might not be Electro from The Amazing Spider-Man 2, but he's going to be Max Dillon. He's going to be Electro. And then Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, man, Benedict Cumberbatch is going to be in Spider-Man 3. And then, I don't know if y'all heard, but the dude who was Spider-Man in the TV show from the 70s is about to be in this shit. And then Oscar Isaac, animated Spider-Man 2099 is about to be in this shit. Them last two I was lying about. But
Are we breaking this news to the world?
Yes, I am. The rumor is whatever happens at the end of WandaVision is going to fuck like the Marvel multiverse that's going to spill into Spider-Man 3. And Doctor Strange is going to have to, between Spider-Man 3 and his movie, contain it all, because we've all known for however long that Scarlet Witch is in Multiverse of Madness too. I'm waiting on the announcement within the next couple months that Tom Holland, that's going to be the Marvel movie that he's contracted to appear in, is Doctor Strange 2. And if Sam Raimi directing another Spider-Man, that'd be crazy to me.
Yeah.
Nick, man, start us off on your reaction and expectations and all of that for Spider-Man.
My expectations are like face value. Like I read that news, I'm like, okay, they're gonna use the multiverse and just have a ton of fun and have all the Spider-Mans in one movie and use that to introduce the X-Men, introduce whatever they want to do to like fix that, smooth over that Fox Disney deal.
Yeah.
Like, that's how they're doing it. They're gonna, to me, that's the only way. The only logical way to like introduce the Fantastic Four in a less weird way and the X-Men in a less weird way. Fantastic Four wouldn't be that weird. But like X-Men, it's like how do you just introduce X-Men without explaining where they've been this whole time?
Yeah.
It's like, holy shit, we really could have used your help
against Thanos
a couple years ago. Like that's the only way you can do it, is if you some weird timey-wimey shit and just be like, oh, they're here now. To me, that you could introduce the Netflix characters that way. Like, there's 1,000 things you could do with that, and it's like someone at Disney realized, like, okay, let's just, multiverse.
That's what, like, what if all of this has been in the works for however long? Like, I was telling Mary, I thought you stopped talking. My internet froze up.
Yeah, it froze a little bit. Did I stop?
Yeah. I didn't hear nothing, so I was talking.
Oh,
Damn.
I said a lot of important things.
Crap.
No, we got most of it just on the last end of
But
it.
I was telling Merritt before we got on, like Sony blew their load putting Michael Keaton in the Morbius trailer, and now like because he looks like Michael Keaton from Spider-Man: Homecoming, like he's in like the prison jumpsuit or whatever.
Yeah, that's him. And there's Spider-Man is on the wall, like when he's.
Although he looks like Toby.
It does to me. It looks like a Toby suit.
But we all think that Tom Holland murdered Mysterio.
I'm saying, like, there's no actual reason, like, out like non-petty reason, that like the Sony and Disney like universes shouldn't just mix. Like, you know, having a completely separate Spider-Man thing isn't a bad idea. Like, I get it. Like, Spider-Man's got enough like of a rogues gallery and like interesting side characters that like Sony could be like doing their side hustle with just Spider-Man stuff. But like, there's no reason they, you know, no non-petty reason why they shouldn't mix together. Like, why Venom shouldn't be fighting Tom Holland Spider-Man, and why the Venom symbiote shouldn't have some like weird consequences in space affecting other things, like, you know, Venom fighting the Guardians of the Galaxy or some shit. Like, there's no reason why they shouldn't want to do that. So in my head, the multiverse of whatever is like the foot in the door to do that. Like, in my head, I don't know if that's what's going to happen, but I'm just like, hey, that would be a great idea. So I got to think studio execs think that that would be a good idea, right? They aren't stupid.
Are we sure? Eric, what you think?
They know what's good for comic book characters, right? Sony, they make good decisions.
Men in Black International, good decisions.
Spider-Man. So, just taking it at face value and thinking, you know, oh, Tobey Maguire is in talks to be in it. I mean, he's in it as Peter Parker, and he's going to be like in another universe, and that's going to be great. So, I'm excited. And I think we're going to see that before we ever see any multiverse stuff from DC. I think DC are going to just take forever.
Eric, we know Sony is going to milk this and end up doing a live-action Spider-Verse. What you think?
No, yeah, Nick pretty much hit on a lot of points I was going to, but between the Spider-Man 3 and the Doctor Strange sequel, yeah, I think we're hopefully gonna see you know, Toby or Garfield as Spider-Man. And I still didn't check, I didn't research, was the company runner for Sony, is he still the one that was there when Garfield got fired? Because I think ultimately that's what could hold Garfield back.
I don't know. Is
if I'm Andrew Garfield, I would be like, I'm good.
Yeah, they kind of pushed him out super dirty, right?
Yeah, and a lot of people still don't even know about that, which is crazy. But I don't know. Maybe they could reconcile, and you know, money is always money.
Yeah.
But you know, he, like Nick said, he's a respectable actor, and he's been doing fine.
Nah, he about to
for like a minute.
Andrew Garfield about to come out flexing. I've worked for David Fincher, Martin Scorsese, Mel Gibson. Y'all about to pay me.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
Spider-Man.
No, for the greater good, I hope it does happen, and has because Spider-Man 3 is filming now, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
At the very least, Tom Holland and Zendaya are on set.
So yeah,
maybe we'll get as many behind the scenes pictures from that as we are of fucking the Batman.
Yeah.
God.
It's just not a secret set at all.
Yeah, every day it's, you know, Robert
When
Pattinson.
is the Multiverse of Madness?
Supposedly March 2022.
Yeah, what is the one they have on the
For now, yeah.
Yeah, I think there's more than enough time to get something worked out with everybody they like to be in their multiverse or whatever.
Those fake ass cast lists with Ryan Reynolds as
Yeah.
Deadpool and whoever else was on that shit.
I mean, if you Google Doctor Strange 2, that is the cast that comes up. I think is why a lot of people were talking about it. It's like Ryan Reynolds, Andrew Garfield, but Rachel McAdams is on it.
Yeah.
And didn't she say that she's not coming back, or somebody say that she is not going to be in that?
I've heard she's not going to be in Strange too.
So, I mean, unless they was fucking with us and like put everything in the kitchen sink in that movie, which would be great. To me, it's like J-Von said, like after they already did Endgame, like they did that. Like we'll never take that away from Disney. Like the only like if every movie sucks from here on out, like they did Infinity War and Endgame.
Yeah.
So it's like the only thing they could do if they want to keep staying relevant and huge is just make another like batshit crazy, we're opening all the portals to all the universes movie. And like, to me in my head, that's what they're doing.
Yeah,
I think that ultimate big villain has to be, because I don't think they have the balls to create a new big bad super villain that everybody has to come together to beat. I think it probably should be Galactus.
Yeah, but how do you make Galactus look cool? Because he doesn't.
But you know what? But that was a thing before too. Was like the whole making Thanos look cool. That was a thing at one point.
Yeah. Thanos could look cool.
Yeah.
But he looked different by the time you saw him in Infinity War.
Oh yeah, that original Avengers post-credit scene.
Yeah.
No dice.
But I remember the post-credits Avengers scene. Like he looked exactly like Thanos. Like every movie, every comic dork in the theater knew who that was immediately. I remember this kid freaking out behind me. It was like they changed it eventually. Like he's straight purple in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
I was about to say, I think by Guardians he looked pretty badass.
Yeah. And then like he's kind of like a light, like a dark pink, like a mauve.
It's called Violet.
Yeah.
But how about, I don't know if they want to remind us of another character they might bring back because it's Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, Dormammu.
Yes.
It's just a couple of choices for those big.
Yeah.
But we'll see. It's going to be.
I think we'll get Galactus as the big bad that's stringing all the strings. But I think that we'll get Dr. Doom and as like not as the big bad, but one of the ones that's being controlled by Galactus.
Like the new Loki.
Yeah.
Right, and we'll get Silver Surfer.
I need Silver Surfer
as somebody's mid, big bad that's being controlled by Galactus. Like I think Dr. Doom and Silver Surfer are going to be big bads. Like I think we're going to get it's going to be a long time to get to Galactus, just like it was with Thanos, right?
Yeah.
Like it's going to take them a long time to figure out that Galactus is the one that's pulling the strings, right? But they're going to have Dr. Doom that they're going to have to deal with. They're going to have Silver Surfer they're going to have to deal with. They're going to have MODOK that they're going to have to deal with. They're going to have, you know what I mean? Like they're going to have, they're going to be big bads in their own right, just as Ultron was, just as Loki was, just as, you know what I mean? Like we're going to have that. But I have a totally different view with the Spider-Man 3. Like,
talk about it.
Like you guys like kind of agree, and I don't. I don't think Spider-Man is going to be like the Spider-Man 3 movie. Like I think that they're really amping it, and because Marvel is really good at misdirection, right? They're really good at misdirection, right? So I think that they're really amping this. Oh, Doctor Strange is gonna be in it, and the multiverse and all of that. And I'm just basing it off the history of what we know about the Spider-Man movies so far. In the beginning, when they first introduced Spider-Man, all he wanted to do was be an Avenger, right? I want to be an Avenger. I want to be a part of that team. I'm too big to be a neighborhood spider, right? And then, he got to be a part of those teams or whatever. And then he came to grips with, I'm your neighborhood Spider-Man, right? So I think that Spider-Man is going to be a character that he's going to be pulled into the bigger Avenger movies when they happen. But I think his movies, specifically his movies, are gonna always be the close to home New York movies. You know what I mean? What I do, the other thing about Spider-Man is in every Spider-Man movie, he's had to have a mentor, right? So in his first one, he had Iron Man, right? And the second one, Iron Man was gone, so then he had Mysterio. So I think that Doctor Strange, and I think that they've been planting this ever since what was it? Was it
Infinity War.
Infinity War, where they were on the ship and he met him, and he's like, "Oh, we're using our real names or whatever," and it was like that whole thing because Doctor Strange know that Iron Man is gone now too. So I think that Doctor Strange is gonna fill that void of his mentor now. Like you know what I mean? So I think that we are. I think some of his villains. I think the his villain is gonna come from the the universe or whatever. Like his villain, we're gonna get Jamie Foxx as his villain or whatever, or whoever's gonna be his villain. I think it's gonna come from the madness. But I don't think that he's gonna be a part of the madness. I think Doctor Strange is gonna explain to him that this is going on, and that he has to take care of it. And his movie is just gonna be simply based in New York. I just think that Doctor Strange is gonna be his mentor, and it's not gonna be that big of a deal. Like I don't think that these characters are gonna be a big deal in the Spider-Man movie. What the way that they're rumoring the Spider-Man movie, it sounds way too big to be just a Spider-Man movie.
He still got to clear his name from that mid-credit scene.
Yeah, that too.
but I think Doctor Strange can do that. Like I think Doctor Strange has the power, like the magic to do that. Like he may be able to, you know, conjure up, like have a Spider-Man there for one situation and let him just be there to get saved or whatever. He's like, see, I'm not Spider-Man, and then that'll be it. I don't think it's gonna be that big of a deal. I think the Spider-Man movie is gonna be, if nobody else, especially Spider-Man, I think it's gonna be a close to home, local movie.
That's probably the title.
So I don't think it's gonna be that crazy. I don't think it's gonna be like a Scarlet Witch, Doctor Strange type movie.
I'm in my head while y'all talking. Spider-Man Homecoming, Spider-Man Far From Home, Spider-Man Close to Home.
Right.
Or No Place Like Home.
Hell
No Place Like Home. I'm happy to be home.
10 out of 10 if they're doing the Spider-Verse with multiple Spider-Mans in a movie. 10 out of 10. 12 out of 10. The teaser poster is going to be two Spider-Mans pointing at each other. And it's going to be Spider-Man whatever.
Dude, that'd be hysterical.
10 out of 10 they're going to do that.
That'd be hilarious.
Toby and Tom Holland.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does come to that.
It's going to be, I can see it in my head. It's going to be like, from a perspective where you don't see the other one's face and he's pointing, and Tom Holland is going to be here pointing.
Like that Civil War poster where they give you Spider-Man, Iron Man, and Captain America's POV while they're fighting.
Yeah. It's going to be Spider-Man Homies or whatever it's called.
Homies.
I think people are going to be disappointed with the Spider-Man movie. I think that, yes, because I think Marvel is allowing. I'm not saying Marvel is the ones that's promoting it this way, but I think that this movie is being promoted as like this big thing, like this, because you got to think Endgame just happened, so everything after Endgame is going to be lower than Endgame. You know what I mean? Like as far as risk and what's going on and how much money they put into it and all of those things, right? And so this movie, like they're making it, like we've been talking about, they're making it sound like such a big deal. Oh, it's going to have 3 Spider-Mans in it. Yeah. Doctor Strange is going to be in it.
I think that's more so the fan response than the studio promoting. Because
yeah, I agree with you. Yeah. Because of that, Jamie Foxx is coming back, and he's going to be. But because of all of that,
yeah,
I think when this movie actually comes out, and it's not that, people are going to be like, you know.
Yeah, whatever it is, I just hope it's good. I think that'll do.
Well, I think it's going to definitely be good. The Spider-Man movies have not let me down at all.
Yeah.
Brandon can tell you, I love the Spider-Man movie.
That mid-credit scene on its own put Spider-Man 3 as one of my most anticipated of whenever it comes out.
Right.
The Spider-Man 2, the Spider-Man 1 movie, the first one, I love that movie so much because, to me, that scene where where he figures out that Spider-Man is Spider-Man and he's taking his daughter to the prom. That whole scene to me was like the most amazing thing ever. I love that scene of that movie. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, I
that
swear.
was incredible. Like when they figured out each other, you know what I mean? In
Yeah.
that movie, like that scene made the movie for me. I was like, oh, this is crazy. I love that movie. And then in the second one, the whole Mysterio scene where he was like, where Spider-Man like didn't know what was real and what wasn't.
Oh yeah, the whole
Like,
illusion
like
scene.
nightmare scene.
Yeah.
Like
Zombie
that was,
Iron Man.
That was really dark and like a horror scene. It was like a horror scene, you know. And they're saying that Doctor Strange's movie is going to be more of a horror movie, and I think that is stemmed partly from what they was able to do in Spider-Man and how great it was. So that movie was great as well. So I don't see the Spider-Man movie not being good. I think it's going to be incredible. I just think that people are going to be disappointed because of all this rumored stuff that they're coming up with for this movie.
The hell with them. They'll be all right.
Right. Right. I agree.
No shit.
I agree.
Oh, man.
But man, it sound like we fading out of the topic, man. I think this was a dope first segment back, and we gonna do it again in 2 weeks. Talk about like Mank and the trailer, and fall time stuff, and we'll find something to talk about, man. It is Rec League Podcast, man. Find my guys on his social media. Javon is about to be back for this sports segment, and we gonna keep this episode pushing, man. It's Rec League. And we back, man. First sports segment back with this episode right quick. I got my guy, man. Y'all know him. Y'all love him, man. That's International O, a.k.a. the Chef.
Dog. What's happening?
Man, chilling, bro. Like I told you before we push record. First episode since like August. A lot has happened in the sports world, man.
Man.
Baseball came back. They had some scares. Then they had their playoff bubble. NBA came back. Regular season bubble, playoff bubble.
Speaking about NBA, I think I went chalk on that, bro. I think I went chalk on our seedings, like on
did you predict Lakers Heat?
Yes.
I think you did.
I think I went chalk on that.
I forgot you predicted Lakers Heat. Shit.
I think I went chalk on that.
Hey, I predicted the Celtics though, and you got me.
So I'm just like, hey, let's just before we skip over it, we gotta just throw that out there.
Okay, my man.
We predicted Lakers champion, so hey, we in here this year.
Let's give O his flowers.
I'm just saying,
predicting Lakers as a champs like ain't no thing. Like they was the 1 seed going in.
Oh, it's not a thing. It's not a thing. But didn't you do the Clippers? Come on now, let's not. Hey, let's give LeBron his love.
Nah, I didn't predict the Clippers in the finals.
Let's not do this.
If I could bring up the tape and it wouldn't interfere with the screen grab on the laptop, I would. Like I was saying, Lakers in the finals all season.
Hey, shout out to Frank Vogel.
Yeah, facts. But before we hit it on the actual sports, like I wanted to say, like baseball had their COVID scares. And then the Dodgers with the dude who tested positive in the clinching game, somebody need to come down on Major League Baseball for that, and the MLB need to come down on the Dodgers for that. Like champions or not, like he should not have been on the field.
I think I would have had the same mentality he had, to be honest.
In the moment, yeah, no doubt.
Let's be real. Let's be real.
World Series champion.
Can we be real 1 second? After years and years of heartbreak for the Dodgers, he's been on those same teams.
Yeah.
I don't think he gave a fuck. I wouldn't have given a fuck. Like, bro, I worked my ass off to be in this moment. You gonna tell me I can't go, man? Fuck you and everybody else. Coronavirus or not.
Hey, but now the Dodgers ain't even gonna play next season because everybody caught coronavirus.
Hey, you know what? Hey, I can leave a champion. That's all.
But on that note, on that
I
note, like,
understand it was definitely reckless. There could have been other ways around it. I don't say it's reckless, man. It's hard to say. Oh man, he was being selfish, like bro, like all the time and effort he put in,
yeah,
be selfless the whole year, working towards this one moment. So is he a selfish person? No, I mean
in the moment,
he
it's all adrenaline. We just
he
won.
follow all the protocols throughout the year, so you can't necessarily call him selfish in that moment, bro, because he put in the work, the isolation from so many other things, and to enjoy that moment. That's what you worked all
I
this
feel
time
that.
for. So you know what I'm saying? I'm kind of on his side with the whole thing, to be honest. You know, it is what it is, man. Like, one, how did he catch it? Who did he come in contact with to even catch it? If it's supposed to be
In a bubble.
a bubble for the, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's more of a Major League Baseball thing than anything. Who would you allow in the bubble to allow him
spread
to
it.
even exactly? So before you pass judgment on him, it's like who allowed who in the facilities where the teams were staying at? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Congratulations to the Dodgers, all their fans winning the World Series in the first place. But let's not ignore the NHL because they had their bubble. If I'm not mistaken, that shit was in Canada. I don't know.
Man,
I don't
know,
follow
man.
hockey like that, so I don't know if they had any positives. I know the Tampa Bay Lightning came out and won the Stanley Cup.
I think they did. I don't think they did.
I don't know, like it's weird. Like the NHL like set up their bubble, had their playoffs, came and went, and I ain't paid no attention.
Yeah, I'm just like they on their own, man.
Like we said,
Yeah.
the Lakers won the NBA Finals. No positives throughout their whole Orlando bubble. Like that was like Adam Silver, whoever set all of that up, the Players Association. Like that was like a work of genius.
I don't Silver the commissioner of the year, bro.
Yeah, and
Each
like
and every
deeper into the playoffs, like they started letting family in there, and they still came out, no positives.
killing. Yeah.
We
So yeah, but definitely shouts out to Adam Silver getting this thing done. We're just gonna have to see what's gonna happen for next year, man. We got NBA draft not too far out, bro.
This got to be within like that next couple weeks, ain't it?
NBA draft. Let me look it up real quick. NBA draft is Wednesday, November 18th, bro.
I'm about to say like the draft got to be right around the corner.
So we have 17 days, man. Have you been following up on the draft, man?
Not necessarily like here and there. Like I know Melo like met with the Timberwolves or something.
Yeah. If I'm with them, man, I don't know. I hope Melo doesn't go to the Timberwolves. That would suck for him. Like, I want to see him in a big market, to be honest.
Right, yeah. Like LeVar got to be pulling like that Archie Manning. Like somebody trade Minnesota. My boy is not playing for no San Diego Chargers.
Yeah, seriously. Like, I'm not trying to go to Minnesota, bro. Like if you understand.
He's a point guard, right?
He's a point guard, but
they got D'Lo.
Huh?
They got D'Lo.
That's what I'm saying. But thing is, he can. But thing is, D'Lo's more of a shooting guard.
Hey man,
you can put him at the two.
I'm about to say get Brooklyn, D'Angelo Russell in Minnesota. They could do some things.
You said Brooklyn?
Yeah. When he was balling out before he got traded.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's kind of hard to say what's gonna happen. I'm curious to see what the Warriors are gonna do.
Now, they got the two.
They got the number 2. So it's hard to say what they're gonna because if Melo doesn't go to the Wolves, bruh, if the T Wolves don't take Melo, then it's going to be the phones are going to be crazy.
Yeah.
So
you got Steph coming back, Clay coming back, Draymond, Andrew Wiggins, Golden State coming back to make a run with the number 2 pick.
I would trade the number 2 pick if I were them.
You could.
No, you can. Like I would trade that because you don't have time to
for an unhappy star who wants to get out.
Yeah, like you don't have time to groom a number 2 pick to come back and take over. Like they're essentially going to be in win now mode. Like their window is going to be closing like in 3 years. I mean, you could groom the person, but
they trying to ruin the Lakers' repeat aspirations.
Bruh, if you thought this year was crazy, next year is going to be even crazier.
From what I understand, like I don't know if it's the Players Association or like the NBA themselves, like they ready to like do the NFL, go back into arenas without fans and just make it happen.
Yeah, they're not trying to do no bubble.
Yeah, like they're trying to start either Christmas or like MLK. Like they're trying to start next season already.
I'd rather have it on Christmas Day. That would be dope.
Yeah, like a Lakers Heat rematch on Christmas Day already.
That would be. I would prefer to see Warriors Lakers Christmas Day.
That's probably what they'll do on the real.
Warriors Lakers Christmas Day, and then you get Bucks and Heat on Christmas Day. That's what I would do.
That'd be fire. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Give me that. I'd take that over anything else, and then you can put Utah versus Nuggets Christmas Day. Like essentially run like the best games back. Get Luka versus the Clippers Christmas Day. Like, talk to him.
Fuck, man. Man, you might as well jump in my fantasy basketball league too.
Oh, bro. I don't have 82 games worth of patience, bro.
Nah, they ain't gonna do 82 this year.
Yeah, they're gonna do 82.
Nah, they either want to do 50 or they want to do like 72. If you do 72, you might as well do 82.
Why would they cut it down?
That's just what I read from I think Woj, either Woj or Shams. That's where I get all my NBA stuff from.
Because you can still, I'd rather have the full NBA season, to be honest. Like, as long as you can finish it by.
They want to end it by the Olympics. Because the Olympics got pushed back a year too.
The Olympics ain't happening, dog. That shit getting canceled.
Probably.
Like, and then in terms of like the NBA, like the Olympics really don't even. I mean, I guess it does matter, but it don't matter. Like,
I'm just saying that's what I read.
Oh, okay. I'm just trying to. It's like processes like.
I don't remember if it was start Christmas Day, run 72 games, and have the finals over by the Olympics, which I think are July. But even if the Olympics get canceled again,
I would rather have it going into August. That way, it's covering up that month of football.
Yeah.
Non-essential football season. You know?
I mean that too. That would be my process too. Like the NFL is pushing until early February.
You still can take. Yeah, you can still take over the month of August, low key.
Yeah.
I'd rather do that because NFL and college football is still gonna be going on during Christmas time.
Yeah.
So give me late, mid to late December through August, and then NFL can come up September to February.
It's the usual cycle. Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, or no, it's a even better cycle. Instead of having that dead month between July, August, like that's like the worst month of the year.
Nothing on TV.
Well, nothing but baseball. Anybody care about that?
No baseball. Ain't nobody trying to watch no baseball.
Shout out to my baseball fans out there.
I swear, we just don't watch the shit. Like do what you do. It's all love.
Yeah, but I can't.
Cause my man Jason, I am Groot. He loves baseball.
Jared Goff is killing me.
Oh,
Hey,
shit.
I am Groot.
Yeah. He loves baseball.
Oh shoot. Yeah, I don't know what Jared Goff is doing today, but he might end up getting cut. Hey, you laugh. He about to lose his job.
He ain't feeding Cooper Cup. Hey,
Yeah,
but
he about to lose his job today.
Ben ain't feeding Juju. While we getting off on a tangent, looking at our fantasy teams and shit. Man, we might as well just talk about how the NFL has handled this shit. It's like ever since like week 2 or 3, like the NFL has like had a positive, whether it's like back office on the team, a player, they've had to rearrange schedules. Like, how you think that they've handled all of that?
Hey, you know what? I think they've handled it as well as they could have.
Oh yeah,
know?
exactly.
I'm definitely in favor of how they've been handling this situation. You know, what was the first game? The Tennessee and Pittsburgh game was like the first game.
Yep.
You know, they moved and shook up some things and got everything back in order.
Hey, some teams have had some unexpected, abrupt bye weeks and shit, but you got to take it as it comes.
Yeah, I think overall everything is going pretty well, man. So definitely no complaints on my end. Still able to play fantasy football on a daily basis.
You know what I mean?
Well, what you think?
Hey, we still getting football. Like this COVID shit is unpredictable, and yeah, man, you just gotta roll with the punches. Like I agree with everything you said.
Yeah, the only thing I don't agree with is the college students, man. That's the only caveat that I have with it. But as long as they're able to do it in a safe way.
Notre Dame ain't got to see Trevor Lawrence though.
As a Notre Dame fan, I'm not going to even entertain that because I just know how Notre Dame is. They will let you down so many times. So I'm not even going to entertain, Clemson doesn't have Trevor Lawrence, but they still are a great football team. So we'll wait till next Saturday. And then after next Saturday, can Notre Dame run the table? That will be seen.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna get my hopes up on that. So,
before we break off, I forgot to touch about this when we was talking basketball, man. But what you think about these coaching hires?
Steve Nash, I think that's a good hire.
What you think about D'Antoni on his bench?
I like it. I mean, you got it's a good move because you're essentially giving Steve the power, but you're getting his mentor on the bench. So I think that's a really good move, and that will work for KD and Kyrie.
Yeah,
moving up and down the floor.
I think.
But they are getting older though, so I really don't know how that's gonna work, to be honest. Because if you look at it, KD about to be 30, or if he's not already 30, he's like 31. Yeah. Kyrie can't really stay on the floor. So
I think, man, Kyrie Irving is a personality. Bothers me, man. Like if they lose, he's gonna like come up with some injury and just not be out there.
Yeah, I can't. You know, I think we talked about this before. I'm like, I can't have Kyrie on my squad.
Yeah.
He's a cancerous problem.
Yeah, like he's not even in my top 5 favorite point guards.
KD kind of had the same temperament too, bro.
Yep.
Like I don't have like a personality disorders or some shit like that. I can't. I would prefer not to have them on my team. But if they respect already Steve Nash
I think so.
Is an OG. So
Nash worked back office in Golden State when KD was there.
Yeah, so Nash is already he's a Hall of Famer. So how you know what I'm saying?
And it's like
he's
Kyrie.
Already,
I think Nash is the point guard that Kyrie like wants to aspire to be. You know what I mean?
You sure Kyrie's not already a better point guard than?
Nah.
Scoring point guard, yes.
Scoring, yeah. Because Kyrie will drop 50.
But he needs to be a better leader, so maybe he can get some leadership qualities. But I think, man, the Nets missed a big chance chance to make a splash in this bubble, man.
Yeah.
From what I was told, they were healthy enough to play, bro.
Yeah, man. A lot of Nets sat out, didn't they?
Yeah, they were healthy enough to play, and just imagine like beating if the Bucks had lost to the Nets that first. Come on, man. Come on.
Man, that would have shook some shit up.
Or did the Bucks play the Magic? Which one did they play?
Oh shit. Were the Magic 8?
I thought the Nets were 8 because they were like the worst.
They might have, man. Fuck, I don't know. They might have been.
But the Nets could have made some noise in this bubble if KD decided to come back. Like, are you kidding me?
I think everybody's already at the very least penciled in the Nets to the Eastern Conference Championship next year.
They're not going.
It depends on how they buy into Nash system.
This is Kyrie, man. I don't trust Kyrie as a number 2.
He knows how to get there. Like, he's been there before.
LeBron knows how to get there. Yes, he made a big shot in a very big game.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, both of these dudes have won rings.
Huh?
Both of these dudes have been to the finals. Like, they know what it takes, whether they carried or not.
For sure. But thing is, they weren't the alpha dogs in getting to the finals on both of their teams.
That's a fact.
So, does KD know how to get to the finals by himself? No. So what are we talking about here? Kyrie had a squad lined up for him in Boston. They almost got to the finals without them.
He ruined that shit.
Bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have time for that.
You right.
Like, you were set up so perfectly in Boston, and you pissed it away. Come on. So, yeah, I don't have any faith in Kyrie. Maybe KD, but we'll see who the surrounding pieces are going to be. That's the biggest factor.
Let me see. You got Stan Van Gundy in New Orleans, Paul Silas' son, Steven Silas in Houston. I ain't even gonna butcher my man's name that the Pacers picked up.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Man, who else?
It had a J in it.
Did the Clippers hire a coach? Did Tyronn Lue get the Clippers?
Yeah, Ty Lue did.
Okay. I think those are the rest of the coaching hires, at least the ones I can think of.
Ty Lue, that should be a good move, but I mean, it's just kind of like the same lateral move.
Yeah.
Doc Rivers to damn.
Oh
Philly.
yeah. Shit, I'm tripping.
Damn.
Doc Rivers to Philly, and they took Dan Burke. So the Pacers on defense about to be trash. Cause Dan Burke went to Philly, and somebody else, like there's another like big should be head coach on.
Did Sam Cassell stay?
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, did the Bulls hire somebody?
They did. Hold on. Billy Donovan.
Okay, damn. So then who did the Thunder get? Are they still like the one vacancy?
I think they're still looking.
All right. I mean,
they're still looking.
I like a lot of these coaching decisions. I like off rip, like as it was announced, I didn't like Stan Van Gundy, but then I thought about it like for a minute, and I was like, well, like he did like kind of like get prime Dwight Howard, so he can mold Zion.
Like, I don't like it for that group. He's too old school for that group. There's a lot of young kids on that team.
That's what I was thinking. If they keep Drew and he buys in, then maybe.
Drew's on his way out.
That's what I'm afraid of. But like Brandon Ingram and Zion, come on.
No, like they're not trying to like. I don't know why you don't get a Mark Jackson or somebody young, bro. Like get a young dude who can actually talk to these dudes.
Yeah.
No one wants to listen to Stan Van Gundy. Like, come on.
And
Like,
the dude
so
we
we'll
got
see,
is
man.
respected, but the jury's still out because don't nobody know what he's done.
Who's that?
The dude that the Pacers picked up,
Oh yeah, man.
he respected among like Raptors and all of that.
Well, here's the thing. I said Nate McMillan was a terrible hire in the first place.
Yeah, like who it was either Kevin
And so,
Pritchard or Larry Bird talking about we want to change the culture, and they get the dude who was one chair over.
yeah, I'm like, that's not gonna happen. I'm like, bro, you got to get somebody outside of the organization, bro. Like, it's crazy to me. Like, what Mark Jackson in Indiana would be a perfect.
Would have been
fit.
perfect. I was pulling for Mark Jackson or Becky Hammond just to like bring something different.
I would love to see Becky Hammond get a job, bro.
Hell yeah. OKC need to snatch her up.
I'm all, that's what they're saying. I'm looking at it right now. I said OKC and Becky Hammond would be a great fit. Like, I would love to see Becky Hammond get a job.
I think if OKC picks her up, I think Chris Paul would stay.
She would be old as a coach. Low key, only because like I think men respond better to women than other dudes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I ain't mad at that.
We'll see what happens, man. Ooh, excuse me.
But shit, man, I think we covered a lot of what I wanted to talk about. I appreciate you jumping on the first show back.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Whatever happens over the next couple weeks, we'll match up schedules and see what we can cook for the sports segment next week, man.
Hey, we'll be here, bro.
Hey,
we'll be.
That's old dog, man. When I come back, I'm gonna have them bars. We're gonna talk about this music. It's Rec League Podcast. Yo, lately it's been a struggle for the bars to cook up. Some of you motherfuckers that get shitted on if you never look up. They all sitting down, I'm doing the stand up. It's weekend at Bernie's, now you holding your mans up. You speak about your paper, but the printer get jammed up. But even more important, I be microphone extorting. When it come to scoring, I am TJ Warren. You a single partner marriage to a motherfucking Mormon. Never is my team fooled, my beans cool. You fucking puppets just can't part with the way you getting them strings pulled. Enough is enough, these clowns wanna talk tough and I am calling the bluff. I always wear the mask to protect who I love. I don't know the cats, kittens, or tigers, I know the rhymers. As soon as I finish this spitting, you better call the firefighters. You lames trying to get on my level, trust it'll be a while. You whack rappers pussy, even more than Selena Kyle. Alright, man, and we about to put a cap on this return episode, Rec League Podcast, man. Got my guy, Old Man Lawrence, music segment regular. We got, I'm gonna say 2.5 albums to talk about. You say you ain't spin that Reason at all, right?
I spun some of it, but no, I didn't. Not enough to get any.
Like Merritt's in love with that Reason, and he couldn't make it. It has moments. Like I told Merritt this morning, like that Andrew Luck line like hurt me right here in track 1. And then track 2 is Stories I Forgot. It sounds like a Dollar Store Kendrick track. I don't like it at all. His delivery is annoying. He's not talking about a lot. He the typical ass and money stuff. Like it's cookie cutters. It's not creative at all. But then he gets deep toward the end, so I want to give him props for that. So I throw a 3 out of 5 on it. You want to talk that Benny first? Or you want to talk that BlackThought?
No, we go ahead and do it.
Huh?
Yeah, we can.
Every time you say what you want to talk about, you chop out.
Is that better?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Let's go.
So, did you say Benny?
Yeah, with the Benny first.
All right. Is this I mean, you're the Griselda guy. Wikipedia says this is his second official album.
I don't think so. I think it's technically, I think it's considered his debut because it's his first like major label.
Yeah, studio. This is his first studio album.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
couldn't tell you if that's not considered his first album, then I don't know which one they would be actually considering his first album. To be honest.
I mean, it's Wikipedia.
I mean, he's got hella projects.
Yeah.
I mean, all the Tana Talks,
studio albums. They have Tana Talk 3 under a studio album, and then this Burden of Proof.
Oh yeah, Tana Talk 3 is first new album. Yeah, I mean that makes sense. That is like a full length project, but I don't know if that was like a tape record. That 2000 shit. I didn't start listening to Griselda until 2019. I was saying.
I think so.
But it's been a hell of a ride.
Yeah. Let me see. It's 12 tracks. It's a gang of features, but it's not like it's. I wouldn't call like the features distracting or like it's so many features that it take away from him doing his thing.
It's also talking about that, like considering like nowadays, like that's not a lot of features at all. I mean, you got Ross, Gibbs. You got the
Big Sean, Wayne.
Yeah, Big Sean and Wayne on the radio track.
Dom Kennedy.
And I think he's got like an R&B lady who's actually, I didn't realize this at first, but I got like a few of her songs on my on a couple of my playlists.
Queen Nahaya.
Yeah.
I know I mispronounced that. Then you got that War Paint. You got the Griselda group track.
Yeah.
Sound like one of my Latina babysitters, Griselda.
You got BennyTheButcher. What's the other member's name?
Pork chop, lamb chop. Hey, that skit was funny as hell.
Yeah, it was.
That skit was funny as hell.
Like some, what do you say? Sound like some wrestler shit.
Hell yeah.
Butcher.
Yeah, why you sound like the other dude was the one that said, "Ladies and gentlemen."
Yeah, this shit was good, man. Yeah, I've been. It's been a hell of a year. Like, honestly, this is our first podcast in a minute, but there's been some good ass music to come out, and both Westside Gunn and
Conway
albums.
I fucked with that Conway. And my internet is chopping.
What'd you say about the Conway?
I said I fucked with that Conway.
Yeah, the Conway's nice, and I like the Westside Gunn a lot. I know you don't really feel it like that. I know you don't really feel like you don't really feel Westside Gunn like that. But that is my dude, and that's a solid ass project. So those two drops, and then I kind of had a feeling Benny was going to drop, and then I think I saw something on Twitter or Instagram. My brother or somebody he might have showed me, and I was like, oh damn, like it's about to go down. Like, and I got hyped immediately because I feel bad saying this, but I think. Benny is my favorite out of the group because I think he's the most talented lyrically.
Yeah,
and he's diverse in my opinion. So he's got, like you said, it's 12 tracks. Yeah, just under 40 minutes. All produced by Hit Boy. Am I correct in saying that?
Well, again, like I'm sourcing Wikipedia, it says all music is composed by Hit Boy. Tracks 4 and 7 were composed with Jansport J. Track 9 was composed with Corbett, and track 12 was composed with G. Rye. So yeah, technically.
Man, when I first heard it was gonna be all done by Hit Boy, which also did the Nas album this year.
Yeah.
I didn't know really how to take that, man. I didn't really know how to take that because Griselda. All their albums, all of their projects have a certain sound to them.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking Hit Boy. I don't really Griselda. And when my first go around with the album, first time I spun it, I thought Benny did his thing, but I just didn't think that it meshed well with Hit Boy on the production.
I feel that.
I probably listened to this album, no joke, at least 10 times this come out. I like this album a lot.
Yeah.
And the more and more I listen to it, the more it grows on me. And the more I kind of like forgive. I don't want to say forgive. That's probably the wrong word to use. But the more I'm okay with like Hit Boy on the production.
Yeah, it's dope. I mean, I don't think like I usually like cringe at a Rick Ross feature. I didn't hate his verse. I was not necessarily bashing, just trying to explain how I don't fucks with Gibbs like that. And then he killed it. Big Sean was fine. I'm an Entourage fan, so that Medellin line from Wayne verse stuck out. I fucks with Over the Limit. I know you said that's your least favorite, or at least was. And then Warpaint is dope.
Yeah, Bird Proof to the intro track is super dope. Where I Would Go, which is the Rick Ross was right after that. Sly Green, One Way Flight. So we kind of the first half of this album is like super dope to me all the way up until Timeless, the lead single, I guess you would. It's Wayne and Big Sean. Although I like that song, it's clear what they were trying to do, in my opinion. They were trying to make like that commercial hit.
Yeah, that was the promo track.
Yeah, it was a promo track for sure. I like it. I don't really like the chemistry that those three artists have together, per se.
I would say like Big Sean is the oddball out of those three.
Honestly, I think Lil Wayne is the oddball out of those three. But you know what I mean? It's a solid track. You know what I mean? Like I don't skip it. So when I'm like listening to the album, I don't skip it. I don't think this song or this album, this project really has any skippers in my opinion.
Nah.
There's songs in here that I don't like as much as the other one. But I don't skip. When I jam this album, I don't skip anything.
Yeah, I mean,
Streets,
I'm either driving or doing my cardio. Like I'm not concentrating on skipping tracks.
Yeah, I listen to this album. I like Dom Kennedy, man. His own work, I fucks with it. But having him on the hook, I don't know. It's kind of like a pop record to me. Yeah, I really don't know if I'm describing it the right way or not. Yeah,
I feel that. The hook feels a little out of place, but Benny Bars is on point.
Yeah, and I was in the group chat, and I was like, I think Over the Limit might be my least favorite track on there. And like, but Benny did his thing with his rhyme scheme and all that. And then once I started, I was like, yeah, you're right. Like Benny did do his thing with that. It just, I didn't really like the beat on it and Dom Kennedy's hook.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan of that. Trade for It All, man, he gets deep on that.
Is that the one they said he broke down in the studio?
I think that was Thank God I Made It.
So okay.
That's where he was like talking about his mom and shit. Yeah, and then Warpaint is the group song. This got Gun on the hook. And Conway got the verse.
Boom, 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 boom.
Man, Conway did his thing on this track, man. Conway murdered this fucking track, bro. Killed it, did his thing. And then Legend to wrap it up. Say I'm gonna be a legend.
Yeah.
Now, hits right there.
Yeah, that shit was dope.
Man, this is a real solid project for me, man. Like, considering, you know what I mean? Like, in today's, like, rap and hip-hop.
We giving ratings?
Yeah, we can jump into ratings or whatever you want, but in the grand scheme of things, like, this is probably my least favorite of the three solo projects from the group.
They all three dropped solos within, like, the last, like, 2-3 months, didn't they?
Yeah. And this,
grinding.
It's still a solid ass.
Yeah, because what's the name?
But
the like Gibbs had that line like taking that little diss at the Clippers. That was like a month ago.
Yeah, that's what all their projects. Like I work, man.
Who was
These
it?
dudes are old.
What was it?
Even on top, like he had a line where, you know what I mean? Like they had just happened like. Dudes are just like in the studio all the time working.
You got mad choppy. I didn't catch none of that.
I was about how he had that line about the Clippers.
Yeah.
And how that was like recent. But Conway the Machine did the same thing on his project. He had that line shouting out Mitchell and Murray.
I was about to say, well, was the Donovan Mitchell, Jamal Murray, was that on his album or was that on his verse on the Benny album?
That was on his album. That was on
Okay. Still, yeah. That shit was like current within like weeks.
Yeah. So I'm telling you, like these dudes are in the studio. They're always working, and they put out. I think they started getting like mainstream attention like 2018, 2017, something like that. And like these dudes have been putting out projects since then. The Plugs I Met from Benny the Butcher is probably one of the hardest projects in the last 10 years, in my opinion. That shit, and it's only like, I want to say it's like 7 tracks.
It is, yeah. It is dope. You did put me on.
That it is hard. That's one of the hardest projects in the last 10 years, in my opinion. I can't really call it an album because it's not really an album, but
yeah, it's like an EP.
Man, The Plugs I Met is amazing. But yeah, so these dudes grind, man.
They about to drop something this weekend talking about who won the election. I give it a 4. What you put on it? I give it a 4 out of 5.
I give it a 3.5, just simply because I was a little let down by it. I don't think he really clicked well with Hit Boy. I think that when in the studio together, I think they had chemistry as far as them two working together.
Yeah.
But I think, and as the audience, me personally, I wasn't really vibing with a lot of it. Benny still, as far as rappers go, like he's in my top 10, like no doubt about it. Like he's up there. There's not too many dudes out there spitting like Benny right now, currently. It's a dope ass project. It's one of the most anticipated projects. As soon as I heard it was coming out, like I couldn't wait. I was giddy. It was dope. I think it was probably the weakest of the 3 solo projects, but shit, it's still a dope project. Super dope.
Yeah. All right, let's transition to that BlackThought, that Streams of Thought Volume 3. You got the track list up on your end?
Yeah, I got it. It's 13 tracks. I don't think there's any like skits in here. I think all the skits are like tied in.
Yeah,
to the beginning.
The intro and outro kind of.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Which actually the intro ties into the outro.
Yeah.
Kind of completes the whole album. Kind of puts it all together.
Kind of loops that shit.
Yeah, puts that finishing touch on it, which is super nice.
Yeah.
In my opinion, really dope album. And I think I listened to this a week late.
Yeah, me and Merritt were bumping it. You didn't know it came out yet.
Yeah, close. Maybe close to not quite a week, but because I knew he was coming out with Streams of Thought 3. I knew it because he teased something on Instagram or Twitter or something. I saw a tease that he put out.
Yeah, I think I shared the track list with y'all in the group chat.
Yeah, because I know he's had 2 singles off of this: the Killer Mike and the Pusha T, and then the Thought versus Everybody. So I know he's had two promo tracks, whatever you want to call them, 2 singles.
Yeah, singles.
But the last Streams of Thought, if I'm not mistaken, was like an EP. Right?
Yeah, like he dropped like Volume 1 and Volume 2 like 3 years ago, and they were both like real short.
Yeah, so I was thinking, I didn't think this was going to be an album. In my opinion, this is an album, yo. This is
a legit album.
35 minutes. And Snake Prisoner is the first actual song. Super dope. Good Morning, that's the Pusha T, Killer Mike.
I hate Swiss Beats.
With Swiss, man, this song, I love that song, man. I think Killer Mike snapped on it.
Yeah, he did.
Killer Mike snapped. Pusha T did his thing, and BlackThought did his thing. And I might sound like, please, shut the fuck up. It's not 2005, bro. It's somebody to half. Man, sorry, I don't know if I sound like a hater or what, but I'm thinking this is just something that I've been like living with.
Bro,
I think this is more of a personal thing. It's a me thing. Swiss Beats is the hardest producers of all time, and it just always bugged me. I hit noise. I don't know. There's maybe a few tracks where I'm like, yeah, okay, Swiss gets me hyped, but most of the time I hear Swiss Beats voice, and I'm just like face palm. I'm like, oh god.
Showtime.
Like, I wonder if it's like so well respected that people are like, okay, I get a Swiss Beats track, like I know it comes with him on the hook.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
It's in the fine print.
Yeah, you buy it and like, yeah, he comes on it like no matter what.
Even Jay-Z couldn't shake Swiss Beats vocals.
I'm telling you, man. You go back and look at his catalog. I'm telling you, it's funny.
Yeah, hey, but Anchor, Spotify, YouTube, ain't nobody gonna hear you hating because my internet fucked it all up.
Oh, bro, damn.
Yeah.
Man, I had a Swiss Beats rant.
You went on a good ass rant too.
But yeah, Magnificent Experience, Quiet Trip, Nature of the Beast. We could. I think, in my opinion,
Nature of the Beast is
from
fucking
3
dope.
to about 9, man, this album is fucking money.
What's
Every track.
I don't want to call it the female track, but what's the track where it starts off where the only time we talk is when we on social media? That's like
We could be good, and that shit is fire.
Okay. My
that's a
shit.
good song.
That song is why I love this album, except for the beginning. Nobody says social media. Like, she should have said Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, whatever, Snap, whatever. But other than that, he was like, she jealous of my microphone and missed the smell of my cologne. Oh my God.
Yeah, BlackThought went off on that, man. He went off, and there are a few songs on this album that you're just like you almost I don't think I paused it. I don't think I paused it. There's a few tracks on here where you're listening to it, and like you kind of like just sit back and you're like, man, this dude is just different.
He's so underrated.
In my opinion, yeah. And that's what I think. What is it? Portugal the Man. Which he did that. What's that song he did, man? I was talking about it with my girlfriend. He's real famous for his like one song. It's like super commercial, super pop, but it was like in commercials and like advertisements. It was in all kinds of shit. It's a good song, but the fact that BlackThought can work with somebody like that and make it a dope ass like hip hop song, man, that shit just blows me away, man. So
it's like, man, I don't know if like boys are like I don't know, like not into the roots for whatever reason, or if it's like he on the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, he ain't a rapper, but like BlackThought been doing it for so long. Like, I ain't gonna front, like the roots were like the roots first caught my attention when Don't Say Nothing came out back like my senior year. Right, that's a jam. That's probably like their most pop song, but it's like Rap City or 106 or something was bumping the video. Either we were at like Andrew's crib or probably at your crib. Like, man, this is a jam.
Yeah, they were on Dave Chappelle's Block Party.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It was right all right around the same time that like I first got introduced to the Roots too. But they have hella projects.
Yes.
But I want to say it's in the past like 3 or 4 years, like BlackThought's finally like come out and started to do like his own solo thing as like a rapper.
Yeah,
and
he got
the world.
Like one of the best like BET Hip Hop Awards ciphers is like BlackThought, Eminem, and like Mos Def. It's so dope.
And on top of that, he dropped probably the most iconic Funk Flex freestyle ever. My man rapped like what, something stupid like 8 minutes or something like that. This dude was just going in. Just went through. I think Funk Flex was like looking at his watch and shit like, yo. No hiccups, no slippage, no nothing, man. Just straight killing it for an unthinkable amount of time, just going in. So yeah, I think we left off where I said like 1 through 9, or I'm sorry, 3 through 9. I think his album is incredible. But track number 9, Steak 'Em with Schoolboy Q. I want to put this on record, man. Schoolboy Q, I think it's slept on. I think he's underrated.
We about to be opposites.
Huh?
Past Kendrick, like we've had this discussion before. Past Kendrick, I cannot get into any top dog artist. Like I gave that Reason a chance. It's fine, but like J-Rock, Schoolboy Q, I know I'm forgetting one. I just haven't been able to get into them.
See, J-Rock's album Redemption was decent to me. Like when it first came out, like I was bumping that shit heavy in the gym because that's a great album to lift. Was a great album. So I spoke a lot. Man, Schoolboy Q, his last two projects have been fire in my opinion. Have been straight fire in my opinion. And he's one of those guys that I think on features, like he does like his best work, man. I love when I have an artist that I really like or that an album that I'm really looking forward to, and I'm looking at the track list and I see Schoolboy Q on there, man, I'm just like, oh yeah, I can't wait to get to this track. I can't wait to hear it because I just know he's going to do his thing. And on this track is no different to me, in my opinion. And then right after that, you got Thought versus Everybody, which is one of the singles he put out.
Absol.
Killing it.
Yeah, J-Rock, Kendrick, Absol, Schoolboy Q. They got other artists, but nobody with that like level of popularity.
See, I think Schoolboy Q is undoubtedly
Number
their second.
two.
Yeah, within well reason too. In my opinion, I like Schoolboy Q a lot. I like that dude. And you got the Ghetto Boys, you got the Fuel track, and then you got the outro. So it's when you're listening to it, it's like I said, it's 13 tracks. When you're listening to it, it kind of goes by fast. It's like a little half hour. And I recently had not this weekend, but the weekend before this, I was on a road trip, and I probably spun this album, driving out there, probably 4 times in a row because it goes by fast.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, driving out there, I think I spun it 4 times in a row, like legit, in only a couple hours. Like within like 2 hours, I spun it like 4 times. Like it was crazy. But it's the thing, like when you listen to it on a loop, man, like it's you don't even realize it. You don't even realize it. And I listened to it a couple times on that same weekend, like laying in bed, trying to fall asleep. I bumped it, and then I've spun it, since then at least 3 or 4 times. So I've listened to this album quite a bit. I like it a lot, and I think this is one of the best albums of the year. I'm just going to say that right now.
I agree.
This might be in my top 5 at the end of the year. This album, that's how much I like this album.
I agree. Yeah, production is dope. BlackThought always bring the bars, man. I think I'm going 4.5 on this one.
Yeah, right now it's a 4.5. I think I said something in the group chat. I was like, this might be a 5.
Oh, that's why I was waiting for you to drop that 5 bomb.
This might be a 5, but right now I don't want to be a prisoner of the moment because I have tendencies of doing that.
I do that shit with movies.
Because actually, like I think back to that Joyner Lucas that dropped earlier this year, and like I was like, man, this shit's fire, man. 4 or something, but like now I can't even listen to the album now. Like I don't want to say it's trash, but I'm like, yeah, bro, what were you thinking? Like giving that shit a 4.
He just dropped something else.
So like I don't want to be a prisoner of the moment, so I'm gonna say like this is a 4.5, and like I think this. Well, we got 2 months now, 2 months left in the year. Like this might come up to 5.
This trash ass year. Music, the only thing getting us through 2020.
Hey, I swear, like 2020, man. Like, okay, everybody watching this right now, we can all agree, like this year,
dumpster fire.
Like we could just like Sean Connery passed away, like R.I.P. man.
Yeah.
Just, like,
I forgot to bring that up in the movie segment. Stupid.
What else, man? Like what else can 2020 bring us? But like low key has been fire for music. There's been some crazy projects to come out, man. Crazy projects.
And today's November 1st. Merritt, I think he's still sticking to his guns. He think Cole is dropping on Tuesday. Cole's not dropping on Tuesday.
Yeah, our boy Merritt he's been predicting a long time that Cole was going to shock drop on election day. I don't know. Either way, yes or no, I have no idea.
There'd be crumbs of hype by now.
Well, I mean, he's got to be having something to base that off of.
Within the next 8, some video. He shared a video to me. I can forward it to you on Twitter. But yeah, like it was like election themed and shit. Like it laid the groundwork for why. Like I agreed with him, but 2 days before the election, nah. Within the next 8 weeks, I think Kendrick Lamar and Kill Edward are coming out.
Man, you talking about shaking up the year. Right now, like my top 5 right now is tough. Now, if you throw those 2 albums in there.
But like, what's wild? Eminem dropped in January. Ain't nobody talking about that shit. Ain't nobody talking about.
I was thinking it's February. But still, yeah, you're right though. Beginning of the year, like back when shit was normal.
You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody talking about that. Like, I wasn't on it like I was on Book of Ryan, but ain't nobody talking about that Royce no more. Crooked and Joel dropped. Where'd he go? You still there?
That Crooked and Joel album is stupid good, but
Yeah.
it's stupid. It's real short.
Yeah, I was bumming that shit while y'all was on like something else that came out around the same time.
Yeah, I remember. I was like a month later, I want to say, and I was like, "Yo, like low key, this album is straight fire.
Yeah.
Like, this shit is like, man, I tried to tell you, and I was like, man, I'm bad, but there's a lot of shit coming out.
Yeah.
Shay Noir, man, her album.
That's in my top 5. I haven't bumped it since like 2 weeks after it came out, and that's in my top 5.
Man, Sky Zoo dropped a project that was fire. Man, you got Freddie Gibbs, who's probably, like, I hate to say it right now, but that's probably my album of the year. Freddie Gibbs is blessing us with some gems lately, man. Like we talked about earlier, West Side Gun, Conway the Machine drop. Man, there has been stupid fire. At least new Busta Rhymes. I don't know if we're gonna get into that.
Nah, yeah, we're gonna save that Busta Rhymes for next episode. Like it just came out 2 days ago.
The Lots dropped the album. Nas dropped the album. Man, what year is it that Jay Electronica finally leaked? I don't know the whole story behind that. But there's a few tracks on there that are amazing to me, man, that I bump on a regular. Currency dropped, man. I'm scrolling through here looking. Lil Wayne dropped the deluxe version. Elzai dropped the album that is straight fire. I think it went come out like a month ago, and I'm just now catching up to it. Man, it is so good. Big Sean dropped, which was decent to me. I'm not a big fan.
I don't think I gave that a full spin. I don't think I gave that Big Sean a full spin.
I spun it once, a full ride through.
Man. Coda, Run of Jewels, Planet Asia.
Shit. Damn, Styles P dropped the album, which is amazing to me. I think that's super slept on and super overlooked. So there's been some crazy music.
I overlooked this shit.
Some crazy music that's come out this year, man. And I'm so thankful for it too. I'm so thankful for it because it's been a nice distraction and a nice way to get away. And remind us of normal last times, man.
Well, yeah, man. Appreciate you jumping back on with me on this return episode. Like I said, 2 weeks from now, we're going to discuss that Busta Rhymes, that ELE2. Whether it's one of the movie topics we talked about, man, sports related, if you bump this, any of the albums we talked about, man, drop a comment, leave a voice message, hit us up, let us know what you think. God willing, we be back in 2 weeks, man. Rec League Podcast.